Meeting to order. This is the March 6th meeting of the Bardstown City Council. Do we have anybody, any groups or individuals that need to, excuse me, let me first announce that we will be going into executive session at the end of the meeting pursuant to KRS 61.8101B regarding deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency when publicity would likely to affect the value of the property. We'll be doing that at the end of this meeting. Next thing on the agenda is regular council minutes. Is there any additions or corrections? If not, we can approve them by unanimous consent. Okay. And then you've got some minutes there just for your review of the tree board meeting. Any questions or comments? Nick, do you have anything you want to share on that?
No, I mean, it's all pretty straightforward.
Okay. Nick's on that board, so that's what he wanted. Okay. Then we have a second reading, ordinance number B 2018-04. We don't need to reread that, or do we?
We need to reread that, yes, sir.
It's the second reading.
Unfortunate.
Mayor, comment of order, I'd like to...
It's already been introduced.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for trying again, though.
All right.
Appreciate the effort. Ordinance number B 2018-04, an ordinance amending and adopting is amended an ordinance relating to Chapter 156 Drainage Control of the City of Bardstown's Code of Ordinances. The City Council of the City of Bardstown, Kentucky does ordain as follows. Amendments be made to Chapter 156 Drainage Control, Section Bonds, Maintenance, Assurances, and Fees, subsection 156.32 Fees and Securities of the City of Bardstown's Code of Ordinances as follows. Bonds, Maintenance, Assurances, and Fees. 156.32 Fees and Securities. A. Strike land disturbance permits. Add permits. Number 1. Add land disturbance permit. A land disturbance permit must be obtained from the office of the city engineer when land disturbance activities are to be performed for sites as defined per the city engineering department's fee schedule for encroachment work and land disturbance activities hereafter referred to as fee schedule. Strike. A minimum performance bond of $500 shall accompany the submittal of each land disturbance permit as required. This bond is fully refundable provided the entrance and all improvements are constructed as specified on the permit and the approved improvement plans. All areas within the public right-of-way and stormwater facilities must have vegetation established and functioning as designed before releasing the bond. This includes certifications for detention ponds and other control facilities as required. If installation of sidewalk along the public street is required, the bond amount shall include the value of the sidewalk at a minimum of $10 per linear foot of walk. All sidewalks must meet ADA requirements. In strike. Number 2, add, moved from B. Encroachment permits. Strike the S on the permits. An encroachment permit must be obtained, from the office of the city engineer. End addition. When any work is to be performed in the city right-of-way, strike from the office of the city engineer. End strike. The permit shall cover only one specified strike piece of work. Add encroachment activity. Such right-of-way encroachments include permanent and temporary entrances, installation or repair of sidewalks, curb cuts, ditch work, or any other activities in the public right-of-way that may impact proper drainage or damage public infrastructure. End addition. A drawing, sketch, or description of the work shall be provided. Strike. The applicant must provide security in the form of a bond or certified check for work in the amount of not less than $2,000 and shall cover the cost to put the right-of-way and/or street and its appurtenances back to its original condition. A representative from the city shall inspect the completed work and accept it prior to returning the indemnity. End strike. All work must be done in accordance with all city ordinances and regulation standards. Add, refer to Chapter 96, Streets, Curbs, and Sidewalks for more information. Strike number 2, add number 3, time frame. In addition, the permit holder shall have 12 months, 1 year strike time from date of permit, strike issue, and add issuance, in addition, to construct the entrance, add encroachments, comma, in addition, and all land disturbing activities in accordance with the permit. Failure to complete the work properly within 1 year time frame shall be reasons for forfeiture of the bond. If the work is not completed properly within 1 year time frame, no further permits will be issued to the permit holder until the property comes into compliance with this ordinance. Add, extensions may be approved by the city engineer or designee. Add number 4, bonds. A minimum performance bond shall accompany the submittal of each permit as required. Bond value shall be no less than $500 as described in the fee schedule and shall be in an amount sufficient enough to cover the cost of the improvements as approved by the city engineer. Such items to be bonded may include, but are not limited to, erosion control measures and their maintenance, construction of stormwater facilities as described in this chapter, all encroachment work including entrances, sidewalks, curb cuts, utility crossings, etc. The bond is fully refundable provided all improvements are constructed as specified on the permit and the approved improvement plans. The design engineer shall submit certifications for detention ponds and other control facilities as required to the office of the city engineer. A representative from the city shall inspect the completed work to ensure all areas within the public right-of-way and stormwater facilities have vegetation established and are functioning as designed before releasing the bond. Strike number 3, add number 5, permit fees. All land disturbance, add, and encroachment, in addition, permits shall have strike administrative fee as follows with a minimum fee of $10. In strike. Add, a permit fee to cover the administrative and inspection cost shall not be less than $50 no more than $5,000. All permit fees are due at the time of application and shall be assessed according to the fee schedule. Strike. A, non-living, non-commercial areas, i.e. decks, garages, storage buildings, and the like, no bond required, $10. B, mobile home, residential living area, additions commercial up to 5,000 square feet, $50. Strike. C, residential commercial greater than 5,000 square feet, $100. Add number 6, late fee. A late fee shall be assessed to permits when construction activities begin prior to the land disturbance permit being issued. The late fee shall be equal and in addition to the original permit fee, i.e. late fee equals original permit fee, semicolon, revised permit fee equal late fee plus original permit fee. B, add, moved to A, subsection 2, review fees. Projects that must go through the plan review process shall be charged a review fee per the fee schedule. Review fee shall not be less than $50 nor more than $5,000. All review fees are due at the time of plan submittal. No permits shall be issued until all review fees have been paid. In addition, strike, encroachment permits. An encroachment permit must be obtained when any work is to be performed in the city right away from the office of city engineer. The permit shall cover only one specified piece of work. A drawing, sketch, and or description of the work shall be provided. The applicant must provide security in the form of a bond or certified check for the work in the amount of not less than $2,000 and shall cover the cost to put the right-of-way and or street and its appurtenances back to its original condition. A representative from the city shall inspect the completed work and accept it prior to returning the indemnity. All work must be done in accordance with all city ordinances, regulations, and standards. Future maintenance of the encroachment is the responsibility of the permit holder. Add 1, for new residential, commercial, industrial developments that require a SWPPP and or SWMP per this ordinance, review fee shall be assessed according to the fee schedule. Add 2, review of development plans where infrastructure will be taken over by the city of Bardstown and become part of the public road and/or utility systems, i.e. water, sewer, street, etc. Additional plan review fees shall be assessed according to the fee schedule. Add number 3, resubmittal fee. Incomplete plans and/or submittal packages will not be reviewed until all documents have been received by the city. Planned and/or documents of the submittal package requiring major revisions may be assessed a resubmittal fee equal to 1/2 of the original review fee. Revisions that take place after approval and issuance of the land disturbance permit may be assessed the same resubmittal fee. Add C, recording fees. For sites that require documents to be recorded by the Nelson County Clerk's Office, recording fees will be charged per the Nelson County Clerk's fee schedule for land records. Such documents may include but are not limited to deed of easements, maintenance agreements, and subdivision agreements, etc. The city will handle recording on behalf of the permittee and will collect fees at the time of plan submittal. Strike C, add D, establishment of stormwater management fund. Strike D, add the title E, purposes of the fund. The fund shall be used for the following purposes in addition. All ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. This ordinance shall take effect and be in full force immediately upon its passage, approval, and publication as required by law.
Tim, there's an addition at the end of number 2, where we strike D and add E.
Oh, yes, I didn't get that. Yes, before the last title, which was E, purposes of the fund shall be used for the following purposes. Under number 2, there is an addition, all disbursements from the fund shall be for the purposes of the fund as set forth in division, and strike D, add E. Thank you.
Okay, this is a second reading. Is there any other discussion after the reading? If not, I'll ask for an individual vote.
They have to need a motion to approve
Oh,
first.
sorry. Need a motion to approve this ordinance, E 2018-04, Chapter 156 Drainage Control. Need a motion for approval.
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Motion for Councilman Williams, second. Councilman Buckman. Any discussion? And seeing none, I'll call for individual vote. All in favor, starting with Councilman Downs.
Aye.
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 Okay. Motion carried. Thank you. Now we have second reading on B 2018-05, Chapter 51, Solid Waste Management.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance number B 2018-05, an ordinance amending and adopting as amended section 5102 storage of solid waste, C, section 5103 collection of solid waste, A1, D2, and J, and section 51.09 fees/charges, C of chapter 51 solid waste management of the City of Bardstown Code of Ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Bardstown, Kentucky, that sections 5102 and 5103 be amended as follows. Under 5102 storage of solid waste, subsection C, add the weight of any container and its contents shall not exceed 40 pounds. Containers that are larger than that described above will not be lifted, therefore all waste must be bagged. No loose material will be picked up. Under 5103, collection of solid waste, subsection A, strike, recycled cardboard is collected at 3 designated locations: public parking lot on West Flagey, farmer's market lot on East Flagey Avenue, and in the strike. Add, recycling items are collected at the Guthrie Opportunity Center on Nutter Drive during business hours. Under D, subsection 2, add A, the intent of the bulky rubbish collection services to pick up the occasional broken appliance or furniture item, not to relieve any renter, landlord, or property owner of the responsibility of moving unwanted or left items from a move or eviction. No set-outs will be picked up. C.K. Solid waste subject to specific rules. Add subsection B. Tree limbs collection is intended for typical landscaping maintenance, broken limbs after minor storm, minor and trimming, etc. The service is not to be used to remove debris for major tree trimming activities, whole tree removal, or relieve a professional tree service the responsibility of hauling away that which has been cut. Under J, prohibition, strike 3, add number 4. That was a typo in the original ordinance, and this clarifies that, where there's not 2 3s, but there's a 4. Add number 7, items left by tenants or eviction. 8, professional tree, add 8, professional tree, cut tree limbs, trunks, root balls, etc. Under section 5109, fees and charges, add C, cardboard collection. The city has added the service of cardboard collection for businesses. The city will rent 9-yard cardboard containers to business and charge for each pickup. The following collection rates are based upon emptying the cardboard container and delivering the cardboard to the recycling center. Monthly cardboard rental fee, $5.42. These are all additions. Pickups per week, and then the monthly collection fee. 1 is $70.02, 2, $140.05, 3, $210.07. Cost per pickup, $16.28. Also continue with the additions. Number 1, cardboard must be broken down and stacked neatly into containers. No trash is permitted to be disposed of in the cardboard container. Excessive trash may lead to additional charges. See Class 5 extra labor fee in this section. Add number 2, the availability of cardboard containers may determine the ability of service. All revenue from the sale of collected cardboard goes to Communicare. Other policies may be adopted to maintain and approve the collaborative cardboard recycling efforts. All ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict are hereby repealed to the extent of that conflict. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect following the publication and summary as required by law.
Okay, thank you, Tim. We need a motion then to approve the amendments to ordinance number B 2018-05 as were read just now from Tim. Need a motion.
Motion, Mayor, I would like to entertain a motion to approve ordinance number B 2008-05 and ask for a move.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilman Williams. Any other discussion?
Everybody's waiting.
And seeing none, this is second reading, so I'll ask for an individual vote. All in favor, starting with Councilman Kelly.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Motion's carried. All right. Next item on is the electric distribution transformers bid. You've got a packet and summary sheet. Is that Eric, Jessica or Eric, you all going to cover that?
We did a transformer bid that was to cover everything across the board, single phase, 3-phase, everything residential, commercial. It's for, a lot of it comes from, we're doing the substation conversion down Barton Road. That affects the whole Edgewood subdivision, so there's several commercial transformers. The one behind the library is one of the main ones. So there's a lot of that, the conversion work, plus then just the growth of the city. We've got the new Bethlehem complex coming in on Templin, the new 5-star on North 3rd. So a lot of the growth has driven us to just need a large order for transformers to cover all that growth. So the total that we're asking for is the $192,920.77. That would come out of our construction budget for the majority of those.
All the recommended bids are in the gray area for each type of transformer.
Or voted, I mean.
Right. So we broke it down instead of awarding to one company. Based on our analysis, the majority of it is Bardstown Electric. They were the low bid on the majority of each individual transformer, but we also took into account there's an evaluation price, which takes into account some of the loss factor of some of the transformers. So in a couple instances where Bardstown was the lower price, but the Cape had a really better quality transformer for just a slightly, so that, so there's a couple instances where Cape is a better quality transformer for a slightly better, more price upfront. But the majority of them are for Bardstown.
Any other questions of Eric on this? Seeing none, then I'd ask for a motion to approve the recommended bid for the transformers that were presented for $192,920.77.
I'll move that the bids be approved as recommended by the staff.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Downs. Any other discussion? All in favor then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The next one is, we've got a request from an individual property owner that wants to kind of improve the alleyway of Gooseberry Alley off of South 2nd Street. You've got a letter in your information there from David Hurst, who wants to make that improvement. Part of that alley is already improved coming off of 2nd Street. It's already blacktopped about a third of the way, almost to half. So he wants to add rock right now at this point, and he's going to remove a tree that he's already had permission from HRB to remove a tree that's going to allow turning in and out of there for his business. He's going to have a bed and breakfast there behind the Red Rose Inn. So I think in the past we've approved these this is an unimproved alley at this point. We've allowed individuals to improve the alley, but it does take, I think, approval from the council. Anything else to add to that, Jessica?
No, that you summed it up. I think he's just wanting to provide a couple of extra parking places for the use, its intended use, and will just be extending off the existing improvement portion over so that they would allow for a couple of spaces and access from the alley. And then what's typical is that request does come to the council. They pay for the initial improvement of the alley, and then generally once that gets improved, the city's responsible for maintaining that improvement at that point. So if at some later date he wants it paved, he can then pave it to match the rest, and then we would take over that pavement. So, because it's predominantly for his use, not so much for through traffic, but access for parking.
Should we have to follow HRB recommendations and do that channel beforehand, though? Is that correct? Or?
Well, he's already spoke to them about just a tree removal that he has gotten permission. I don't think they have jurisdiction over a city alleyway in terms of improvements there. It's not a structure. So I think it just takes a motion to approve this request to improve the balance of that alley. It basically runs parallel to East Stephen Foster and halfway through the block from East Stephen Foster over to John Fitch.
I believe he has been talking with Roche about this as well.
I think they've applied for a certificate of appropriateness, at least it says in the letter that they have. And I've had a chance to go out and look.
The parking, maybe. Where's parking lot?
Right, probably for the
parking lot.
Yeah, that would be on the private property.
Right.
Not part of
And I've had a chance to ride by and look at it. I mean, it all looks like it's definitely going to be an improvement, to the
Yeah, because
city
all that alley, the tree
situation.
improves this and finish it, so.
Right. No drainage issues or anything it's going to cause, I don't suppose.
I don't believe so.
So that being said, Mayor, I'd like to make the motion to approve David and Susan Hurst's request for the Red Rose Inn for the improvements to the alley.
Okay, I have a motion for approval of the request from David Hurst and Susan Hurst for Gooseberry Alley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Buckman. Any other discussion? All in favor, then signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. Next part of the agenda, any council comments? Anyone from the council have anything they'd like to bring before the council today?
Yes. Okay. I am on the program committee for the National Foundation for Women Legislators. And March is Women's History Month. And so what a better way to celebrate than joining the National Foundation for Women's Legislators in Public Office Day on March 19th. So every state is asked to put forth this to their county, city, and state. Our state representative, Attica Scott, is presenting it to the state for Kentucky, and then I am presenting it to our city for a proclamation. So they sent me this already formulated, and if you guys agree to this, then we would be added to the list nationwide. So it's filling up. Most states have already signed up. All their cities have signed up, and we would just be another city acknowledging women in the legislature, women in the community, and leaders. So I would like for you guys to think about this, and the date is March 19th. So we have another meeting on March the 13th, which I will not be here, but if you're willing to pass that, I would greatly appreciate it.
I guess you can put it on our agenda next time so we can read it.
And can we have the verbiage also, please?
The verbiage, yes. I have sent this to Mary Riley, our clerk, and so I'm sure that she will send it out to you guys. It is formulated to where everyone nationwide has the same information. So you don't have to change it. All you have to do is plug in the information for our city. Thank you. The next thing is, I frequently travel outside of our city, and the reason why I do that is to bring back knowledge and information that can better service our community and our city. We all know that we have a farmer's market, and I love the farmer's market, but not everyone is able to shop at the farmer's market and be able to use their money wisely. I was able to go to a seminar, and it's called Fresh Stop Market. And many of you may have heard of it, and you may not have. But it doesn't diminish the capabilities of our farmers market. What it does is enhance the ability for our farmers to make even more money, because these items are prepaid and they're done in a certain season, and that's during like spring and summer. And the items are prepaid for. But the best thing about this program is that everyone can get something out of it. These are organic items. Anywhere from potatoes and zucchini and cabbage all the way down to blueberries and strawberries. We don't have to do anything. They come in, they canvass the area, and they let people know that this is available. They also meet with the local farmers to get them on board. But I took a personal interest in it because the people that can't afford to eat these fresh fruits and these fresh vegetables and are out cost at the local Krogers and things of that nature, well, they can use their WIC benefits or their SNAP benefits. $6 for WIC benefits, and for SNAP, they can get it for $12. People that have an annual income, a household of four, $45,000, $510. If it's less than that, well, it's $12. If it's higher than that, then it's $25. And they also have a Justice Share, which is $40 if you can afford more to contribute. But I just thought it was a really good program, and one that I'm going to participate in. I will have to drive to Louisville and pick up these bags of food, but I just want the public to know that I'm able to do this, that all they have to do is prepay, and I can pick this up, go to Louisville, pick up all these bags, and bring it back to my hometown until Fresh Stop is able to come in, talk to the local farmers, and work with the farmers market, and be able to give this to our community, because people are still struggling, no matter where they live, to access fresh fruits and vegetables. Mostly it has to do with the cost and accessibility. So I just wanted to bring this up because I knew that our gracious news outlets would maybe put that in and get some exposure and know that they can be able to have fresh fruit and vegetables throughout the spring and summer. And I just think it's a great program. Thank you.
Any questions on that? Keisha? Okay. Thank you, Keisha. Any other council member have anything to discuss? The only thing I would touch on tonight, the mayor's report, is that I think most everybody by now has heard the news of, was announced that American Greetings has announced that in addition to their layoffs, they're going to be closing the factory entirely in February of 2019. So I spoke with Kim Blackman, the plant manager, this morning, and actually the number of layoffs initially right now is probably going to be a little less in March and June, mainly because some attrition is already happening. Once the announcement for layoffs was made back in January, some of the employees with less seniority have already started looking for work and have been hired here locally, some in the bourbon industry, some in our other local manufacturers. So they'll still be doing a number of layoffs in March and then some in June, which will leave them with about 300 employees. And then, of course, by February of 2019, the balance of those employees will be without a job. Certainly, that's a terrible announcement to have any city, and certainly those employees, got today. But I think there's a silver lining to be had here. In that, number one, they've given us almost a year to prepare for this, and the employees to prepare for this closure of the plant. The closure didn't have anything to do, I think they made a recent announcement where 60% of the plant was sold, or 6% of the company was sold to another company. It was explained to me that that decision was outside of the recent sale. That transaction hasn't even been finalized yet, so this was an American Greetings decision all on their own. And again, it was precipitated by what prompted the layoffs. The whole reason for this closure is due to the loss of a major contract that American Greetings got word of back in January, which was over, I think now it's going to be over 50% of the plant's production will be lost due to the loss of this contract. This contract's going to a competitor of American Greetings. So, according to Mr. Blackman, the way he explained it to me was that, you've got a large plant that's going to be with less than 50% production here. They could move this production to some of their other plants that are more full capacity and do it in a more efficient manner. So that's really what's dictated this. It wasn't the sale. It really wasn't more than the fact that they lost this major contract. So when I spoke with Kim Houston today, we already had support services on board from Lincoln Trail and the Labor Cabinet for helping these people with job placement and retraining, and that, of course, that work's going to be ramped up even more now between now and February. So the other side of that is, as I explained to some other people today, is that actually this is a silver lining to some degree for Bardstown and Nelson County. We're sitting at 3.1% unemployment. That's probably one of the lowest unemployment levels any county in the state. Probably not the lowest, but probably one of the lowest. It's below national and state averages. So I know from many of our existing employers, they are looking for people right now. Some of these people, as I said earlier, have already been hired in plants that already needed employees. But just in the coming months and within the next year, we have a number of additions and startups that are going to be needing hundreds of jobs. Bardstown Bourbon Company is undergoing their third expansion. Preservation Distillery will be formally opening later this summer. Luxor will be formally opening next month. We have Takigawa that's going to be breaking ground next month. We're scheduled to hire about 189 people in the first 3 years. Thai Summit is only at a third of their employment right now. They've got one press operating. They got two more to go, a total of 3. Spoke with one of their management people just this week. So they're only at about a third of where they want to be. They've got probably another 100 employees to hire. So right there, you got 100, you've got 189 fixing to be, of course, it'll be some months down the road. And then you have, these other expansions going on. So I don't think all the news is bad. I think we all know that everybody is really scrambling for employees right now. So I think many of these people will be able to be assimilated into our workforce right here in Nelson County and not have to go outside of the county to find good paying jobs. And of course, certainly the American Reading jobs are good paying jobs. And then finally, you're going to have a 500,000 square foot plant that's not occupied. But again, we have been in situations in economic development where the timing of some of our prospects has been we couldn't fulfill the need. Some of these expansions of our existing factories have occurred outside of Nelson County strictly because we did not have a facility that they could readily move into within a time frame to meet some of their contractual obligations. Tower Automotive is a good example. They recently took an expansion to Bullitt County because of some demand they had, and there was just no more space here locally for them to expand. So having this empty plant actually could be a very strong asset for us as long as the economy stays as strong as it is right now, because it'll be an adequate facility for any number of types of manufacturing that might be looking in Kentucky. So I don't know that this plant will stay empty all that long. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I know when Wood Grand Genoac went out, Tower moved into there almost within a year or so, and Tower has expanded and expanded. So that facility didn't stay empty very long. So I really think that right now it's a dark day for Bardstown and Nelson County, but I think in the coming months there's going to be a lot of people going to be very grateful that we have this workforce available. So that's how I spoke to Kim Houston about that. She had a touch of laryngitis today, so that was a combination of what she wanted to say and what I wanted to say about this announcement. So does anyone have any questions on that? All right, we'll move on then. Okay, board appointments. We have Guthrie McKay. Should we do these individually? Probably so.
Yes, probably should do them individually, yeah.
We need a motion then to reappoint Guthrie McKay for the cable and TV programming for a 3-year term.
So moved.
Got a motion by Councilman Williams, second by Councilman Kelly. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next appointment would be Clara Fulkerson for Whitland Board, 1-year term. I need a motion to approve Ms. Fulkerson for the Whitland Board.
So,
Have a motion by Councilman Buckman, and a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Copeland. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, next we have 2 cemetery deeds, one for Michael Williams and one for Mary Larkin. We can approve by unanimous consent. Is that okay? All right. Tracy, anything under finance right now?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then we have a first reading of a change to the classification and compensation plan. That's first reading for ordinance B 2018-06.
Mayor, if I'm in order, I'd like to introduce B 2018-06, classification and compensation plan, and ask it to be read in full.
Thank you.
Actually, we have a summary, but I think it's pretty much in full anyway. Summary of ordinance B 2018-06, an ordinance amending and adopting as amended an ordinance style, an ordinance creating classification plan and compensation plan This ordinance amends B 2016-10, B 2016-15, B 2017-11, B 2017-14, B 2018-01, and Chapter 35 Employment Policies, the Classification Plan and Compensation Plan of the Municipal Code by amending the number of authorized positions, their title and pay grade, and setting the ranges for pay grades for city employees for fiscal year 2017-18 and subsequent years. The amendment and additions reflecting the number of positions, title, and pay grade respectively are: under Police Department, strike 1, add 2, Administrative Assistant / Property Room Technician, part-time, grade 106. Strike completely 1, strike Crime Scene Technician, part-time, strike 105. This ordinance and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are repealed to the extent of such conflict. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect following publication in summary as required by law. I certify that this summary was prepared by me, Tim Butler, City Attorney.
Okay. I'll ask, if you don't mind, Captain Kevin, to maybe kind of give a little background to this.
We're seeking on the department accreditation, and the big thing to get accredited is the property room. We've got property in there. I'm not sure, it hadn't been there since the creation of the Bardstown Police Department. So we're going to clean all that out. We're going to get it up to the accreditation standard, which will actually help us on our insurance prices with the Kentucky League of Cities once we become accredited. But there's several things besides the proper room. That's where the administrative assistant comes in to reach that accreditation level. And that's why we need that person. As far as the evidence technician unit person, we haven't had that spot filled, but we are budgeted for that already. And we're just taking that spot and transferring it over. All our detectives are trained to collect evidence and do that also. So we're not really losing a skill there. We have the ability to continue to do that on our own, but we need that additional person to help us in the property room and along with other administrative duties to reach that accreditation level we want.
Thank you, Captain. All right, need a motion then to approve.
No, that's just first reading.
First reading. Any other questions, Kevin Wise here?
Mayor, this won't impact the budget at all?
No, it was a budgeted position, just unfilled.
Okay.
So we're in good shape there. And if it, based on his explanation, you can see we have a stronger need there than we need. The crime scene position could be handled by the detectives, really.
Captain, what in addition would we need to do to reach that accreditation level besides this move?
Well, we're going through all of our policies now. There's several policies in the way they're written. And we're working with the Kentucky League of Cities on that and going through each one. I mean, it'll honestly probably be 1,000 policies. So just having them written out properly and making sure that we have everything done to the standards they need. But the biggest thing, it seems, going around, and we visited Hillview, and I think we went over to Shepherdville and visited them. They were reaching it. And the biggest hurdle was the property rooms in these locations to get to that accreditation level. It's accredited through the Kentucky Association of Chiefs of Police.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, as announced earlier, we're going to go into executive sessions. I need a motion to go into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101D, deliberations on the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency which, in publicity, would be likely to affect the value of the property. Have a motion?
So,
Okay. So moved. Motion by Councilman Shekels, have a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Copeland. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, we'll be going into executive session. City staff. Okay, I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved, Mayor.
There's a motion by Councilman Jones, do I have a second? Second by Councilman Butler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we're back in regular session. Let the record show that there was no official action taken during the executive session. However, I think now our city attorney is going to phrase a motion for us to proceed on possibly purchasing some real estate here in the community.
I think that the appropriate motion would be to authorize the mayor to negotiate on behalf of the city those negotiations concerning the acquisition of property for public purpose.
So moved.
A motion by Councilman Kelly, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Williams. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. I don't think there's anything else to come before the council, so I'd ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Shekels, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Rose, all in favor?
Second.
Aye. All opposed?
You're not moving.